I'm sorry to be loud. I'm hard of hearing, so I take it on you. Understand, basically, so many people have so many concepts, theories, opinions, and beliefs about what they think spirituality and spiritual life is all about. And most of it is just hogwash.
What? Cow-wash?
Hogwash. Hogwash.
Nonsense.
You know what a hog is? A pig?
No.
A pig?
A hog?
And when you put a pig that has been wallowing around in mud, into water and wash him, what comes off? Yuck. That's what hogwash is. Pigwash. Nonsense. Are you with me? Most of what we have come to believe, to take for granted, based upon what someone told us, what we've read, what we've heard, that we have not inquired into, we've not investigated, we've not looked to see for ourselves, most of it is nonsense. The mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. That's Bhagavan Ramana speaking. The mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. The very first thought is what thought? What's the first thought? What was the very first thought you had?
When I exist.
Okay, but when you thought that you existed, you were even before you thought you were.
Yes.
And then here you were, being, existing, and then you started thinking.
Yes.
And that's when the problem started.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Do we all get this?
Yes.
That's when the problem started. And we've been having problems ever since. Look at it. We have been having problems ever since. Ever since we started thinking. But the being that we are, the existing being that we are, is pure awareness. The pee-pee? The peaky? The pika? It's awareness, isn't it? Pure awareness. If we just stay in the awareness as the awareness and not identify with the thoughts, they're going to happen. I want you all to stop thinking right now. Stop. Did you do it? Stop thinking for 5 seconds. It might be a little easier to do it right here. But do you recognize that it's very difficult to stop thinking for 5 seconds? Well, since you can't stop thinking for 5 seconds, stop identifying with them from now on. You can't stop them, but you can stop identifying with them. You do not have to identify with the thoughts, just let them happen. What difference does it make if thoughts are going on? They're just going to continue to go on. But you don't have to identify with them. And if you don't identify with them, you're stabilized in the awareness that you are. And you can see for yourself the role that the energy of the self has to do with your very being. See? Because you're awake already. The energy of the self is the awakeness that you are. Right now, this moment. How far are you away from yourself?
No distance.
Exactly. And never have been.
No.
Never have been.
No.
My loves, what happens and what has happened is that we have so many misconceptions. We have been so identified with the mind and the body as though the body and the mind are ourself. And the body and the mind are not ourself. You see, in identifying with the body and the mind as being the self, what that means is we, the very awareness of being that we actually are, which is the universal consciousness, the one reality, the one consciousness, as this one consciousness, are taking on the form of the body. We're meditating a separate self-identity. Let's look at it from the point of view of the self. We're meditating a separate self-identity, and we do it every time we identify with the I thought and with thought itself. When we identify with thought and stay identified with thought, we're meditating a separate self-identity. And my loves, that is the cause of suffering. If we would cease meditating this separate self-identity, we would be free. Because freedom is our nature. That which we actually are is just simple, pure awareness. Every day, the common garden variety of everyday awareness. The awareness right now that knows this fan is turning. You didn't think this fan was turning. You knew this fan was turning. Your awareness told you that it was turning. Now that I called attention to it, now you were thinking about it. Make the distinction, however, between thinking it and knowing it as pure awareness. And start seeing yourself as and knowing yourself as the pure awareness that you are. You don't have to think that you are to be. Thinking comes about because you are. You already are. You are the awareness. You can't think yourself into existence, nor can you think yourself into enlightenment. You can't do it. It's impossible. So quit trying. The moment that you think you can enlighten yourself, you're just going to cause more difficulty, more delay, more confusion, more contradictions and confusion and chaos in your life. Are you all with me?
Yes.
It is very simple and very basic. You already are that which you seek. You have always been that which you seek. You are the simple awareness of being. Your nature is not form. It's not the body. It's not the mind. It's not the history of your body. It's not the history of your life since your body was born. That's not you. You're an Academy Award actor. You're doing an excellent job. Just don't get caught up in your role. Remember that you're playing your role. Don't be your role. Play Macbeth, don't be Macbeth. Are we getting it? That's all there is to it. So just keep remembering that you're God playing the role of you, and quit identifying with the role as though you are the role as a separate entity, because you're not the role as a separate entity. You're the all-inclusive awareness of being playing the role of an individual. But in truth, you're not the individual. That's the role. Make this distinction. It's very important that you make this distinction. Make it, stay in this distinction forever, and be happy. Namaste. I love you all from the core of my being.